Tonight, a KCTV5 investigation at the bus stop. There are a lot of things that parents worry about when their kids head to the bus. They worry about traffic, maybe other kids. Sometimes they worry about the weather.
Ellen, tonight we're hearing from parents who say they have a much more serious concern because they discovered their child's bus stop is near a registered sex offender. Here's KCTV5's investigative reporter, Angie Racono.
Honestly, this surprised us, and we told the parents, you need to contact your school and the transportation department. They had. Here's the problem. There are clear rules when it comes to sex offenders in schools, but it doesn't apply to the bus stop.
I was appalled. I was in front of their house. I was appalled. Shocked, scared, didn't know what to do.
Meet Angela Miller and Crystal Frederick.
I definitely panicked. I had no idea that this was even an issue.
Two moms who discovered their daughter's new bus stops were right near registered sex offenders.
Against 10 and under girls. And it was pretty heinous.
In both cases, the men are convicted of sodomizing little girls.
I had a concern about my child walking past a sex offender's house that committed a crime on a child that's recent, and I wanted to see what options we could do.
The parents began calling independent schools and say no one seemed to realize how serious this situation was.
The reaction was just kind of really laid back and subtle of, oh, okay, I don't know what you expect us to do.
So they kept calling and calling.
How many phone calls?
So far it's been 7.
These moms aren't alone. We found other parents in other Kansas City metro area school districts posting on Facebook about sex offender bus stops.
So a registered sex offender moved to my neighborhood. His house is at some of the neighborhood kids' bus stop. I'm sick to my stomach about it. And it's not a minor charge that ended him up here. This is sickening.
That parent tells us the school district did adjust the route when summer school rolled around. A dad in rural Missouri posted this map on Facebook. Turns out his district is short on bus drivers, so they combined and moved bus stops. He checked it out.
A look at the Missouri Sex Offenders Registry shows that there are 6 registered offenders within 500 feet of that bus stop.
Restrictions on sex offenders apply to schools and playgrounds. They do not apply to bus stops.
Change the bus stop, move it up the street, down the street, wherever we have to go just to avoid that area.
Sex offenders and bus stops were discussed by lawmakers a few years ago. Proposed legislation would have forced schools to place stops at least 500 feet from registered sex offenders. If schools couldn't do that, they would need to notify parents. The bill never passed.
I was completely shocked of, is this poor planning? Or is this just we don't care? And I really felt like all the conversations with all the employees that I had, it was a I don't care.
Sex offender bus stops are being caught by vigilant parents who check registries and apps.
I got the notification on my phone and looked it up.
The moms are stunned transportation departments aren't checking sex offender registry maps too. These parents say the focus seems to be on excuses.
We just don't have enough bus drivers, or there's too many kids, and what do you expect us to do? Sex offenders live everywhere.
Both moms fought for new bus stops and eventually won, but say it was a cumbersome process. They question how many more sex offender bus stops are out there.
We reached out to numerous school districts asking them, how do you pick out bus stops? They all mentioned things like traffic patterns and how far the kids have to walk to the bus stops. Not one mentioned sex offenders. So if you are a parent and you want more information about your child's bus stop, you can do a couple of things. The first is you can head to your state sex offender registry and check out your neighborhood. You can also head to our website. We have some other helpful links. Angie Racono, KCTV5 News.